Right now somewhere, you're lying in the dark, wide awake, wondering what's wrong with you. You check the clock, 2:47 a.m. You do the math on how many hours of sleep you have left. You feel your heart start to climb. You call this insomnia, a disorder, a failure of your body to do the one thing it's supposed to do at night. But for most of human history, this exact moment, wide awake at 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling, wasn't a malfunction at all. It was the most ordinary part of the night. So what were people actually doing during that hour you've been taught to dread? Before electric light, before the 8-hour block you call a good night's sleep, night didn't work the way you think it did. In the 1990s, psychiatrist Thomas Ware at the National Institute of Mental Health ran an experiment. He took a group of people and put them in darkness for 14 hours a day. No clocks, no lights, nothing to do but lie there. For the first few nights, they just slept, exhausted, catching up on years of sleep debt. But within a few weeks, something shifted. Their sleep split in two. 4 hours of sleep. Then waking, alert, calm, clear-headed, for an hour or more. Then 4 more hours of sleep. Ware called it segmented sleep. It wasn't a fluke of the lab. It was the body returning to a default setting it hadn't used in years. Historian Roger E. Kirch went looking for the same pattern, not in a sleep lab, but buried in centuries of diaries, court depositions, and medical texts across pre-industrial Europe. He found it everywhere. References to first sleep and second sleep, going back as far as Homer. A French peasant's diary, an English court record describing a murder that happened between first sleep and second. A physician's manual recommending the best time to conceive a child, and naming the gap between the two sleeps as the hour for it. Even Geoffrey Chaucer wrote about it, almost as an aside, the way you'd mention checking your phone. That's how unremarkable it was. It didn't need explaining. Everyone already knew what you meant. 2 blocks, 1 waking hour in between, treated as nothing more remarkable than lunch. This wasn't insomnia. This was normal. So what filled that hour? E. Kirch's sources describe people getting up to tend the fire, check on the animals, relieve themselves, pray. Some had sex. The gap was considered a good time for it, free of the day's exhaustion. Some visited neighbors, who were also awake, who were expecting them. Others just lay there in the dark, next to whoever they slept beside, talking quietly about the day, about debts, about dreams they'd just had. And some did nothing at all, just lay there, thinking, half dreaming, turning the day over slowly, the way you'd turn a stone in your hand. There was even a word for the strange clarity of that hour. In French, dorveille. Half sleep, half waking. No anxiety attached to it. No glowing screen to check. No app counting your sleep debt back at you. No 3 a.m. dread. Just a quiet, expected gap in the night, the same as the gap between morning and afternoon. And here's what's fascinating. The gap may have had a function. Some researchers think that waking hour was when dreams got processed, when the mind sorted through the day before sliding back under. A built-in pause between two halves of rest, not a glitch in the system, a feature of it. You're not the only species that does this. Many mammals sleep in short segments rather than one long block, waking and dozing in cycles through the day and night. The single, uninterrupted 8-hour block humans now treat as the gold standard of health may not be the natural default at all. It may be the anomaly. So if this was the norm for thousands of years, what killed it? Light. specifically the spread of artificial light, gaslighting, spreading through European and American cities in the late 1700s and early 1800s. Then electric light, a century later, reaching deeper into ordinary homes. Once cities could be lit at night, the night stopped being empty, stopped being a forced pause. There were now things to do after dark, taverns to sit in, factories to run, books to read by a steady flame instead of a guttering candle. People stayed up later. Bedtime crept back, hour by hour, decade by decade. The two sleeps compressed into one because there was no longer a dark, dead stretch of night with nothing in it. Eckert traces the last clear written references to segmented sleep to the early 1900s, right around the time electric light reached working-class homes, not just the wealthy. By then, the 4-hour gap had nowhere left to live. The dark that used to hold it had been switched off. It didn't disappear because it was unhealthy. It disappeared because the dark disappeared. But here's the part almost nobody tells you. Your body might still be running the old program. That moment you wake up at 2 or 3 a.m., heart calm, mind oddly clear, the house silent around you, and you immediately assume something is wrong, your cortisol starts rising. Your jaw tightens. You start scrolling, looking for a reason, a fix, a number that explains why your body has betrayed you. But there's a version of this same moment repeated for thousands of years where none of that happened, where the body woke up exactly on schedule, did its quiet hour, and went back under without a single thought that anything had gone wrong. For most of human history, that was just Tuesday night. That was the body doing exactly what it was built to do. The panic is new. The waking isn't. You inherited a sleep architecture built for 2 blocks and a quiet hour between them. And you're trying to force it into one uninterrupted slab in a world that never goes fully dark and never goes fully quiet. No one's saying go back to the 1600s. We gained vaccines, antibiotics, street lights that keep us safer at night than any torch ever did. Nobody's nostalgic for dying of infection at 30, but maybe the next time you wake up at 3 a.m., you don't reach for your phone. You don't open an app and watch a number tell you how badly you failed at sleeping. Maybe you just lie there, in the dark, doing nothing in particular. The way every human who came before electric light did for thousands and thousands of nights, without ever once calling it a disorder. And you let the hour pass the way it was always meant to, quietly.